Hello there, this is Dr. Penn with Pinpoint Wellness. Let's talk about diabetes. It is very interesting because I've had a few patients come in and see me for different problems. This year I've had the pleasure of being able to help a friend with her blood sugars, and diabetes is type 2 diabetes is something that you do not have to have. You can live a life without being a diabetic. It is not something that it's not a life sentence. It is just a condition when you have too much glucose and the insulin's not breaking it down. But I do have a personal testimony. Well, I have several concerning diabetes. Getting things together with my hair. One is that I have this little cute husband, and they said that he had diabetes. I thought it was really strange because I've seen a trend happening in the community. When people turn about 60, all of a sudden they're diagnosed with diabetes. And I'm like, how could that be? They never had it. They didn't have any markers for it earlier, and so now all of a sudden they're diabetic. So I've done a lot of things. We've done berberine, which is supposed to be just like metformin, even though metformin is made with another active ingredient. We have done cinnamon, chromium, we've done bitter herbs, and we have seen some changes. So I am going to tell you those things do absolutely work, and I'm excited that they do. He went to the doctor, and the doctor was saying his blood sugars had come down, but not enough for his doctor to be pleased. And so I was like, okay, well, I see that your glucose levels are X amount of numbers, but I didn't see his A1C. So I told him to call his doctor and get the A1C test. We wanted to see the results because that really tells you your blood sugars and how they work. And blood sugars fluctuate throughout the day. If you eat a lot of sugar, of course, they'll be high. If you eat a lot of fiber, they'll be low. And then just throughout the day, sometimes you get hungry. In the morning is when your blood sugars are the highest. So if you're doing a fasting test and then they're like, your blood sugars are really high, well, that's when they're the highest in the morning. So I thought that was I think it's always odd that you have to do this fasting test knowing that blood sugars are higher in the morning than any other time. But I'm sharing this video because I kept saying, I don't understand. This guy is doing everything. My husband, he exercises more than me. Not harder, but he does exercise more than me every day. He's very faithful about it. And at first he had high blood pressure and high blood sugar. Now his blood pressure is 120/78. So he's got a really good blood pressure. My husband is 62 years old and he has high blood sugars. So I went to the YouTube University and started doing some research, read a lot of and saw a lot of videos about how your blood sugars are high and how you need to change your diet and you need to exercise. But here's the real question. What happens when you are doing all the things and your wife is a doctor and you still have high blood sugars? So we did something. I saw this video, I think Dr. Berg, and I follow him. He has a lot of information out there about a lot of things. And one of the videos that he did which was an eye-opener for me, was he actually talked about if you have a metabolic disorder, that's what I call diabetes. I don't say you have diabetes. I said you have a metabolic disorder. So how are we going to resolve it? And once again, when you're doing all the things, you're doing all the food and you're doing all the supplements and you still have high blood sugars, what is there? Well, Dr. Berg said that you could have metabolic disease, which is turning metabolic syndrome, which is turning all the food that you eat, whether it be a fat or a protein, into sugar, and it's glycogenesis. And so it's just making new sugars, making new sugars, making new sugars. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I'm watching this video. It's about 15 minutes. And I'm like, okay, well, what's the answer? What's the answer? And of course, I thought he was going to say, you could take berberine, or you could take cinnamon and chromium, and you can cut out sugars in your diet and all the things that people tell you. And he didn't. So I was very, very glad to hear that. And he said something that I knew was true, but sometimes you want to hear a second opinion. And when you can't get a second opinion from your PCP, then you go on the search and you go on PubMed and you find all the papers, and you're just trying to get all the information that you can so that you can have a long life with your husband. And so he said, which I thought was totally amazing and true. I know it to be true. He said, you can increase your fiber. And I thought, what a simple solution. But because the dirt and the fruits and vegetables are not like that they were when I was growing up, things are so much different now. And I was like, my husband, he eats a lot of cauliflower. He eats lots of salads. He eats a lot of fiber. Already, he eats a good diet. He eats lots of fruits and vegetables, and he doesn't eat that much carbs. Every now and again, he's human. You know, he has a weakness. I'm not gonna share it, but he has a weakness, but he doesn't do it every day. He doesn't do it. He doesn't even do it once a month. He does it periodically, you know. And I was just like, okay. So we started taking psyllium every day. Some people could take Metamucil. It is a type of fiber. It has psyllium in it. It has some of the things that that my husband takes, and I decided to see about improving his health even more. So we make this drink, and in this drink I put amino acids, and I put some magnesium in it, and I put collagen peptides in it, because we're talking about restoring the gut health as well. And so we started doing that, and we're keeping track of it. I like to go in blocks of 12 weeks or 3 months, because that's how long it takes your collagen, your muscles to change. It takes longer for connective tissue to change. So in a different video, I'll talk to you about what it's like to recover from an injury. You know, you go to the doctor and they tell you, oh, you'll be in 12 weeks, you'll be up and running. In 12 weeks, your muscles will heal, but we have more tissues than muscles, but for another conversation piece. And so I started this journey with him because I was having these problems with my body, which will be a different video as well. And I started taking the psyllium. Oh, I also put trace minerals in it. I started taking the psyllium and trace minerals. I put a little clay in there. We do a little pre-mix. We do like a little bentonite clay, and then we wait 15 minutes, and then we do psyllium, and then we do psyllium, and we do them 15 minutes apart. And my body started changing. My body started clearing out, and some of the things that I had going on with my skin started clearing up. So fiber does so much for your body. It will bring your blood sugars down, but it'll also rotor-rooter and clean your intestinal tract, so that any problems that you have, they say, you know, if you want to track a problem, it starts in the spine. That is true. But if you also want to track a problem, it'll start in the intestinal tract. Skin problems, sleeping problems, digestive problems, blood sugars, all kinds of problems that you could potentially have. So I hope this video has been very good. I hope it has been educational for you. I hope that you can take this video and improve your health, because that's what we do. My friend says it's our dharma to give information and help people heal their bodies so that they can walk in their purpose in life. This is Dr. Pim with Pinpoint Wellness, and I hope you have a great day.